Hey, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back to another review by none other than Dealer Destro. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the son of Cobra Commander. It's a club exclusive figure, and when this one was announced, I was super excited. And after having had it in hand, I don't know. I'm glad that the paint apps are clean. That was a big concern of mine when I saw that they had, when they were going to paint like around the shoulders and whatnot. I was a little worried, but thankfully the one I got came out pretty good. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started here. So as always, we're going to hold this here for a second. So if any of you cool cats want to pause and read up on his background, his backstory, you may do so. I'm going to try and make that a thing for all the videos. So now that we got that done, we'll just set that to the side. And we will look at his accessories. So he comes with, I'll just try to get it a little closer here. So he comes with run-of-the-mill sword that's been used a few times, and it looks like I got paint chipping off the handle. It's probably from taking it out of his hand, putting it back on, switching hands, etc. But I did not notice that when I took him out of the display case, so kind of a bummer, but not a deal breaker. He comes with this Uzi that's been used time and time again. I want to say the Baroness has had this in several of her loadouts. And then what was really weird is he comes with this literally hook with a string. Looks like this should have gone like in Hit and Run's duffel bag from back in the day. And it's got a nice little spinny action. If you like that kind of thing, you can helicopter that right on out of here. All right, so getting into the figure, as per the usual run, he comes with a stand, so looks good. The figure itself, I gotta tell you, so I don't know what's going on with my camera. All right. Okay. So, bear with me here. The head sculpt looks pretty good. I can't tell, and I probably should have looked at this before talking to y'all about this guy, but no, that's not painted on there. That looks like that is actually sculpted on. Now the strap looks like it might be, let's just take a, nope, I'm running my fingernail across it. That is actually sculpt work, ladies and gentlemen, so kudos to them for being thoughtful about that. Paint gets a little wonky right there, but again, at this scale for what we get, I don't know that I can complain too much, because overall I think the figure has a relatively clean look. Again, I like that, you know, they came pretty close to, like, that's like almost 100% match on the flesh tone, because I worry when, you know, heads are usually cast in a flesh tone and then they got to put paint apps to kind of match it. But, you know, this one, all in all, fantastic job. He's got this little piece of web gear that kind of, it's like a sling, but then it's part of the belt here, and you got a little bit of gold accent there, which is nice. This here, I'm just and without being too nitpicky, I'm just gonna say that This is no longer cutting it. When you give me a holster, a non-functional holster with a gun sculpted in that I can't pull out, that is not cutting it anymore these days, guys. So, you know, not sure what the odds of someone from the club watching these videos is going to be. Probably slim to none, but I'm going to say it anyway. This, yeah, for what we've been getting, you got to give me a functional holster. I'm sorry. Like, I need removable gear. We're past this. This isn't the 80s, even though it's a throwback to the character that from the comics from that era. But, you know, I think that's not going to cut it. All right, so moving on. He's got the Arashikage insignia on his forearm, and that is on there clean as a whistle. And I don't know why my camera is not letting me get close. There we go. Oh. So I hope you guys can see that good in the video. That is on there, and that is sharp. I love that. It's a little spotty around the glove or wristband or whatever that is, but the hand itself appears to be fine. And I mean, that's just the cost of paint application over flesh tone, because I guarantee you this was all flesh tone and they came in and tried, put accents on it, and whoever was on shift that day just wasn't minding the details. But what are you gonna do? So moving down the figure, it transitions from this black top to the green pants, which pretty plain. But again, I think this is going for the look that was portrayed in the older comic books. And then you got these brown boots, which little bit of QC right there. Is that? What is that? Is that a sprue mark or a paint chip, or I am not sure what that is. Must be a paint chip. Maybe these were, I don't know what color these were cast in, because usually when you look in the joint you can see, but I don't see any difference. Maybe it's a sprue mark or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, that is not as big of a deal as like some of the stuff that's going on here in the wrists and whatever, but because I'm not going to see that. Like, I'm not going to display my figure like that. You know what I mean? So that doesn't bother me as much. So getting into like the articulation and whatnot, head has no problem looking left and right. So arms as per the usual, full range of motion. He actually, what is that? I'm gonna have to look at my other one, and do you guys see that? I'm gonna have to look at my other one and see if that's battle damage or if that's just sloppy paint apps. Which I don't know, guys. Like, for me personally, I customize figures. So when something is wonky or off out of the package, like outright out of the package, I take the liberty and I touch this up. So this will be getting touched up now that I see that. It's kind of when I get figures out of the packaging, I don't really mess with them too much. I kind of just put them in a pose and stand them on the shelf and kind of set it and forget it. But leg articulation, these are standard run-of-the-mill metal. I don't know what is going on with my camera tonight. I apologize. It's just standard run-of-the-mill metal T-joints, and they hold up pretty good. Not the legs are nice and tight. As per the usual, you get a double knee joint, and because of the sculpting, it kind of flares out, but you get good ankle momentum there. And at this scale, I'm not, because I also buy masterpiece transformers, and they, you know, they have this little extra joint that lets the ankle kind of swivel from left to right or whatever. I don't expect that on a figure of this scale, because again, for what we do get, the points of articulation, I mean, I can't really complain too much. So overall, articulation is fairly sound. I like it. I like this figure. This is, like I said, when they announced this wave, I was the most excited for this figure. This one actually, and Interrogator, because we've never had, like, Billy's been kind of one of those voids in a lot of people's collection, especially fans of the comics. So when the club said, hey, we're doing this, it was kind of like, whoa, you know, it turned a lot of heads. Head sculpt is new, and I don't know if this upper torso sculpting is new or not. I initially thought it came from bench press, but I made a custom Sarge out of bench press, and it, you know, I looked at it before we started this video, and that is not bench press. I thought that it was or may have been. So I don't know if that is new sculpting, new tooling on the upper torso specifically for this figure, or not. And then because of the web gear, the upper joint swivel is a bit hindered, and it's because this strap isn't its own piece. It's because this strap comes back, ties into the belt, and the belt is around the waist, kind of pretty tight. But I don't know. I guess you can get it. You just gotta put some some stank on it. So okay, I'll take that. I will take that. That'll get a pass on that articulation there. So, but yeah, I mean that is basically it, boys. Short and sweet. So I am going to go get his dad and come back and let you see how he sizes up with him. All right, so there he is with good old dad. And now that I'm looking at this looks kind of funny. It's almost like Cobra Commander's like, why, son, why? But anyway, that's what he looks like next to good old Pop. And then just for good measure, we will bring him in with his Ninja Masters that he apprenticed under. And, you know, I got Billy stands on my shelf that is dedicated to the Arashikage. And I think while he does stand out in like a weird Kurt Russell kind of way, you know, I think it works. So bottom line, should you pursue this figure? If you did not opt for the figure subscription service, which is the way that you would have gone about getting this figure at MSRP, your only options now are either hitting the boards and seeing if someone has them on their trade list, or fee-baying it up. And I have no idea what he goes for on eBay now. So if he follows the trend like some of the other, you know, in-demand club figures, I would imagine it's probably anywhere between $40 and $60. So that's a lot. And really for what you get, I mean, he is a plain figure. There is like minimal web gear, minimal paint. So he is a pretty plain figure. And that is ultimately something that you are going to have to debate. And I mean, you see mine, how it had kind of the, you know, flaky, shoddy paint apps around the wrists and the boots, and then the big paint chip that was here on his shoulder over here. So, you know, I mean, if you're a fan of the comics and you've been on the fence, you know, I hope you found this video informative and, you know, it empowers you to make a decision. Because again, when you start, because I mean, guys, these are 4-inch figures. So when you start creeping up over $20, and some of us might even say 15. When you start getting up into those kind of higher price points, you know, you really got to pick and choose. So again, those are my final thoughts on it. You know, I I can't wholeheartedly say you should buy the figure, because again, you're dealing with secondary market pricing now at this point, because I'm a little late to the review game. So, but ultimately I hope the folks that watch this video find it informative and help them make a decision. So that's all. I'll get off my soapbox. Until next time, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to go ahead and give me a like, a subscribe if you're liking what you're seeing, because again, there's plenty more videos on the way. So until next time, guys, take care. Appreciate it.